All right, welcome to another episode of Tea Time at Physics. Today, our special guest is Chiara Megani, owner of Figurella.
Correct.
And we have 4 locations now. We have the first one is in Newton, which I went and tried. I will tell you my experience of how that went. She has one in Wellesley,
Correct.
Lexington, and then just one more.
Brookline. Yeah, that's the latest, the baby of
That's
the group.
the latest. Yeah. So Figurella, when I went in there, I wasn't sure what I was expecting, and it seems like it's a blend of like cryotherapy, but like warm and like Pilates, and it was absolutely crazy. But going into the machine and trying it out for the first time, I found that to be a very safe way of getting into some activity and burning some calories and working on your fitness. Now, what I want to understand is, like, how do you get started with Figurella? What got you interested in something like that?
That's a good question. So I was still in Italy and I was desperately trying to come to Massachusetts, actually. I wanted to move to Boston and I could not find a job or anything. So I just stayed in Italy for a little longer. And then what happened is that I was working for this company that produces a massage machine, a lymphatic treatment, and they were partnering with Figurella. So that's when I found out that they were looking for someone in the USA, so in Miami, to help them start up the company here, because in Italy it's very big. It's been around since the 80s and there is about 150 locations there, but so it's literally every corner. But then in Miami they were starting up, so they only had one location and they were looking for someone to do marketing there, and I was so desperate to move across the sea that I was like, I'm going. So I took my dog, literally, and a month later, I moved to Miami. So they told me, if you want to market this product, you need to understand what it is, because it's all about something that we keep transferring from family to family. It's not a franchise like the others, but we care about keeping that boutique feel and the high standard and high service. So they're like, you're going to train. Good thing I was an athlete before and I was a swimmer, and so I always had a great knowledge of the body, and I've injured myself multiple times, so I knew how to help the clients. So that's when I started training and I never wanted to stop. So fast forward 10 years, I've started managing a location, co-owned a location, and then after COVID I came up here to Massachusetts to open my own, and that's where Newton was born.
What made you want to come to Massachusetts?
Massachusetts is just fantastic. I used to travel a lot with my parents when I was little, and from Italy to America, there's always a stop in Boston most of the time. So we would stay in Boston for a couple of days, and I don't know, it's just the perfect blend of the city, the sea, nature, and I don't know, I've always loved it.
I'm biased because I love Massachusetts and I love Boston. I'm from Boston. I've traveled to many places and it's like, oh, this is so great. I still want to go back to Boston as my home base.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you feel that same way.
There you go.
All right. So let's get back to that journey into Figurella, right? Now, for those who don't know what it is, Can you just describe what it is? Because I think I did a poor job of describing it. There's way more to it than what I said, so why don't you tell everybody what's going on?
It's very easy to say what it's not, but it's really hard to say what it is. And that's, one of the challenges that we have, because until you're not in and you don't try it, it's really hard to understand. But in general, Figurella is a health and fitness center. It's made for women, mostly. I do have some husbands nowadays, they can't stay off. But we basically target those women that throughout the years have seen hormonal changes and changes that will reflect on their bodies. Either they can't stay in shape, or they feel that fat or other sagginess are moving to different directions and they don't know how to control their body anymore. So Figurella is made of 3 steps, and it's all in one place, where we sit down, and first of all, the first difference between anything else is that we understand what is that it's going on. What have you tried so far? What is exactly the goal that you have? And we try to align with you with a combination of exercise, nutrition, and detox that will make sure that we can target the same goal that you have in mind. Because most of the time they sign up for the gym or for classes and stuff like that, hoping to change something, But if it's not combined, the exercise, the nutrition, and the detox and the understanding of your body, it's really hard to find a solution. So yeah.
And one of the things that really that stood out to me when we first met, and this was years ago, was the nutrition part of it.
Yeah.
Because, I've seen a lot of small group fitness studios, and they do well with the exercise part, but the nutrition part was just sort of, here you go. But it seems like you guys really nailed that one down for your clients, and that's why your clients are seeing some transformations as they continue to work with you guys. So walk me through that, like the nutrition part of it, how you guys implement that.
Yeah. So again, 80-90% of the time women are looking for some sort of weight loss or fat change and tissue structure change, which muscle mass, fat mass. So what happens is that when they come in and they tell us their goal, we also go through a bit of a understanding of their knowledge of nutrition, because unfortunately there's even the basic things that are not always understood well. There is not a lot of information. So we understand that, and then we'll base our suggestion based on the Mediterranean nutrition. So we believe in whole foods, eating healthy, eating clean, but also we understand that to see a change, healthy nutrition and weight loss nutrition are completely different, especially for women. So we have a set plan that really works great when it comes to weight loss, where we kind of start reducing the carbs to a very bare minimum for just a couple weeks. So it's never starvation, and that's not the end goal, but it's to create that change in your metabolism that will allow you to reintroduce all the nutrients in just a matter of 5 weeks in total. And your body will just respond differently because you've done constant exercise, a great change in your nutrition, starting from that ketosis, which really helps your body to restart into, in 3, 4, 5 weeks, getting back to a balanced nutrition and not being on a diet forever.
Now, one of the hardest things about, changing the way you eat, well, first of all, just that alone is really hard.
Yeah.
Now, how do you keep people accountable for doing the necessary things they need to do to actually see those changes in themselves?
Yeah, that's a great question. So that is our forte. So we make these locations and our teams really friendly. So client create a relationship with us and they have an appointment with us 2 or 3 times a week. So when they come in, they know that they're gonna see me or Kim or Eliza, Julie. So everyone knows who they're gonna see, and they feel like they have to give results because they were assigned to some tasks to do at home. So when they come in, we will weigh them, we measure them, we make sure that things are going in the right way, and in a very friendly, non-competitive environment, if there's something that is not going in the right direction, we'll just talk again and figure out either a different strategy, because maybe that was not exactly the one for that specific person, or we just try to figure out what was the mistake and change it. So it's really helpful to have a team that will tweak things based on who you are, and it's not a one size fits all.
And you're keeping them accountable.
Yeah.
Because every time they come in, you guys are taking these number measurements.
Yeah.
Now, I agree with it. Now, I think some of the pushback some people will get, be like, I don't want to weigh myself. I don't like to look at the scale. I don't want to do these things that make me feel a sort of way. Like, how would you respond to someone who feels that way?
Yeah, that we live in that culture.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so obviously when we talk to younger clients, which our clients' daughters sometimes come, we are very careful because we know how sensitive people are, or kids are nowadays, to this topic. But we try to approach everything on a healthy standpoint and try to understand how to feel better. And sometimes it starts from the outside. Yes, you have to love yourself, but feeling that change in just 1 week will make you feel so good. So I would say that we try to start from that friendliness and build on that. So we do have people that don't want to get weight. It's a very little minority, because the way that we approach it makes it very simple. And again, it's not a punishment, but it's just an objective way of understanding what you do at home. So you spend the money, you spend the time, and you want to know if you're doing things right or not. Like I always say, you go sometimes to a nutritionist and then you go back after a month and maybe your weight didn't change. You thought that you were for a month on a nutrition or on a diet, and then you want to restart. No, you're not going to do that because you're demotivated. So approaching that on a weekly basis, 2 or 3 times a week, it makes it easier to change the course and just keep people motivated like that. And the numbers are just like, they're looking forward to that.
Right. Do you find that to be a challenge when you're starting Figurella and having that type of approach? Because you're coming from Italy. I'm not sure what that culture is like around like weight. Like I know for sure in the Chinese culture, we're very snappy about it. Like we go to a family dinner, if someone gains some weight, my uncle would just say, hey, you gained a little bit of weight. And it's just very much a matter of fact, right?
Yeah.
And I'm fine with it. I think there's a couple of things I'm privileged in is that as a guy, my weight doesn't have the same emotional relationship as it does with a woman. And I see things very objectively. So for example, I lost about 7-8 pounds because I saw the scale. I was creeping up to like a 178 weight, a weight that I don't normally would sit on unless I'm intentionally trying to gain some muscles. But I was like, oh no, this came up like without a warning. I need to do something. I weigh myself every single day because what it does is it reminds me that, hey, I'm working on this thing.
Yes.
So I'm tracking it over and over again. So did you find that to be like a surprise just in the culture of how people relationship with their weight and these numbers?
I guess we knew what we were getting ourselves into, definitely different culture. And again, like in Italy, and this is one of the beautiful things about America, that people really are trained to love themselves. Instead for us is like, you have to look good, you have to be skinny, you have to be this. Like this is something in Italy that it's really connected to fashion probably as well. And I think it's beautiful. And I always say, you need to not, sometimes they look at you and they're like, oh, you're so fit, I'm never gonna look like that. I'm like, you don't have to. You want to look the way that makes you feel good. So when was the last time that you have great memories of pictures or something? And that's where we want to aim at. We don't have to become supermodels. Everyone has their targets. And that's the type of approach that we try to keep them accountable.
Yeah, I think the pendulum always swings too far one direction, right? Yeah. We went from, okay, obsessively weighing calories, obsessively weighing ourselves and looking at ourselves in the mirror every single day, to now not even looking at it at all. And I think you need to be really swinging somewhere in the middle to really see these changes or be healthy about that whole situation. Now, let's talk about the exercise itself. Now, we have to talk about the setup. We have to talk about like the type of equipment you guys are using. So you take that away, because okay. I don't want to mess it up.
So we call it the bubble. So this is one of the things that people see in our advertising, and it's really intriguing, but it's basically a capsule that is warmed up at your body temperature. And when people are inside, that they basically get to the body temperature that they need to burn fat in just 2 minutes. So instead of having to warm up for about 20-30 minutes at the gym, which most of the time that's it, that's all the time that we spend, then we cool down, we go from one machine to another. So there is the toning, there is great deal of detox, but the weight loss and the fat loss, fat mechanization, needs that temperature to activate the lipase enzyme. So in the bubble, the temperature is maintained throughout your whole entire routine, which is a 30-minute routine targeting your areas. So if we need to shape the upper part of the body, we're gonna do a lot of core. If you need to shape the lower part, and women, creates that saddlebags, inner thighs, around the knee area. So we really try to focus the type of exercise on what you need and mechanize the fat cells to reshape and make it easier to see a change.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the biggest surprises when I walked in, is just seeing the bubble and just going in there, and it's like, oh my God, it's not hot, but it warms you up in a very comfortable way where you're sweating pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I used to go, when I work out, I used to go in the sauna, especially in the wintertime. I just kind of sit there, let myself get a little bit of a sweat, and then come out, and then I get into my workout. And I just find that to be much better.
That's smart.
So it seems like you guys are taking what I was doing, just putting into one device.
Yeah.
And we forget about it.
That's right. So also people sometimes are a little bit skeptical because they've tried hot yoga or hot Pilates, and in those rooms is typically 102 or or higher than that. We keep it at 98.6, which is your body temperature, so it's not overheated. It's just the temperature that you need to maximize all of your body functioning. So your muscles are ready to work. You feel that you've started working right away instead of, having to do that warm up yourself. And you always have a trainer with you to maximize the work that you do. And that's where we kind of got together, because clients come looking for a very one-on-one approach because they got injured and they don't know what they're doing or how to stabilize the core to not get injured in their backs. And that is, I think, one of the most important things.
Yeah, and it seems like it's a small group.
Yeah.
Like when I was in Newton, I think, how many?
4.
4, right?
4 bubbles, yeah.
So it's 4 bubbles, and then you have 1 trainer overseeing 4. That's definitely
It's
very
2 trainers
intimate.
over
2
4,
trainers
so
over
it's
4.
always 1-on-2.
Wow, yeah, so that's very intimate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's practically right next to like a one-on-one session. And it's 30 minutes,
Yeah.
right? Which I think is great because people are busy, number one. And a 30 minutes is very doable. Like, you go into a place and you're like, you can do it for 30 minutes. Oh, I can do anything for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And how many times they come?
3 times a week ideal, 2 times a week okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Great frequency. Once, I don't think you're really doing enough.
Nothing
once a
is
week.
gonna be enough once a week.
Yeah, twice, I think you're right past the barrier where you're gonna start seeing some change. But I think 3, 4, that really is the sweet spot when it comes to exercise frequency.
Agreed.
So you guys are hitting all the right fundamental things for real changes to occur. Now, tell me a story of a client who came to see you and made this transformation.
Yeah, so there's this person that amazes me every time I think about her, and I met her in 2021 when I opened, and she was going to the dentist upstairs, and when she came down, I just saw her, and she is beautiful, tall, and just like tells me that she's gained this weight, she's had 3 kids, and she needs to feel, herself again. So I was like, you need to come and try this. So she comes for a session. She, signs up for the first 3 months because she was still a little skeptical because it always sounds too good to be true. And after losing 40 pounds and having got back those strengths to even get out of a unhealthy relationship, now getting all of those kids happy, she's happy, everyone else is happy, and she just restarted her life and is an inspiration, and left her corporate job and now being able to even restart a career to help others do the same thing. So
wow,
that was amazing.
Yeah, health and wellness is more than just about the body. It's more than just about feeling good in your body, but it really have a trickle effect into everything else.
Yeah.
Because you show up to the world differently, you communicate with your friends, your family differently, and they feel that. And it's very palpable when someone take care of themselves. And I think that's what a lot of people missing in modern society. I think a lot of people that we see, people are in pain, a lot of them are caretakers. They spend a lot of their time taking care of other people and not a lot of time taking care of themselves.
Yep.
And they don't even know where to start. And they see us and we get them started on their journey because we can make them feel less pain in their body and they're able to do more things. But they want to take it up to the level of fat loss and making some compensation changes. Well, where should they go? So I think a company like Figurella, that'd be a great fit for someone like that.
Yes, 100%. And the same thing here, because I still believe that there is something that is related to the food that we have here in America, the quality and all those toxins and preservatives and stuff that makes people sick in their bones, in their muscles, in their bodies. And so they always need people like us to kind of get them back in place and not just learn to live in pain or to just give up because it's too complicated to figure it out, but having those people that walk hand in hand with you until you figure out a way.
Yeah, and speaking of pain, I mean, I think how we got connected was through a mutual client who's seeing us to take care of an issue, and she's telling me about Figurella, and I go, "What are you talking about? Like, what are you?" And that's when
Yeah.
we linked up and we
And
went
he's like,
there.
I need to get in that machine.
Yeah, of course. And I got in that machine. There's a video of me in that machine. I wish, if I find it, I'll link it onto this clip. That'd be cool. But yeah, I was inside the bubble, and you would show me some things, and those tough moves were hard.
Yeah.
Like I was drenched in sweat.
Because you're working the little muscles too. So that big muscles are the ones that are stabilizing you, but those little ones that really help you, put the foot in the right way, the knee is not wobbly, and keeping the core stable. Use your shoulders without hurting yourself. It's all connected, and it's really important to figure out what you're doing. So I always say it's 30 minutes. I know, like if you were an athlete, you would be at the gym right now and not here. But those 30 minutes, do it well. Figure out what you're doing. So what you're learning here, you can do it while you're bringing the grocery back into your house, or going up the stairs, or lifting your niece. All of these things are connected.
Yeah, and I love that you're inside the machine. This is a machine, can I call it that?
Yeah, the bubble.
The bubble, and we're inside the bubble, and you're strapped on. We have resistance bands.
Yep.
And the way that is set up, it reminds me a little bit of the reformer in Pilates, which I'm a fan of because I think is a much safer way for someone to exercise. I prefer that over body weight.
Yeah.
Because you're stabilizing on a structure, and you can really utilize your muscles in a higher degree without endangering things. Because sometimes when you have no support and you're doing body weight stuff, if you don't have that innate stability, it may be hard and you may stress certain joints. So I don't recommend, I love bodyweight exercises, but I don't recommend it for everyone. But it seems like in the bubble, even people who's dealing with some issues, some slight aches, pain here and there, they can still do it and still get a great workout from it.
Correct. So one of the first questions that we get answered while they come in for a consultation is a list of all the possible body parts, because sometimes just asking if you have an injury is not enough. So really, anything about your elbow, anything about your shoulder, anything like that. Because again, we're not talking about people that are typically at the gym or knowing what they're doing. So asking those questions in details will allow us to play it safe. And I always say, when you first get in the bubble, please tell me what you're feeling and if something feels off, because you know your body better than anyone else. So the fact that you have back pain could be a lot, could be a little, could be due to torsions rather than crunching. So it really makes a difference from person to person. And based on that, we'll start where you're at your level, and not that the next day you can't even sit on the toilet, but you have to be able to move and wanting to come back. So we kind of build up on that in terms of repetitions, in terms of how complicated the type of exercise is, and why not the weights, because they can change weight as well.
And what I enjoyed was, when I was seeing this client that we shared, I believe it was a shoulder issue that she was dealing with, and we went into the machine just so we could see what kind of things that you guys are doing. And I was very happy and pleased to see that you guys are working those same tissues that we were trying to work on here, but now we just have a little bit extra instructions and saying something as simple as, hey, we would love the tricep being worked in this position to help with the shoulder, and you guys were able to do that right into the bubble. So I found that to be a very seamless transition for her to get her exercises in while also making progress on her rehab as well. And I think more people should know that Figurella exists for people who are in those type of positions.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. It's I personally train all the trainers, and we make sure that they understand why the pain on the shoulder comes in the front, and how to avoid it, and how to use that back muscles and the packs to really get a better posture. So it's not just the weight loss, it's not just the looking good, but it's so much about changing your body from the inside out and feeling better overall.
Yeah, so there's a certain quality that you're looking for inside those trainers that goes into Figurella as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Quality control is important.
It's important.
It's the same for us when we have therapists who come on board. We want to make sure that, hey, they have the right personality, but they also have the right thinking framework of how to look at a problem and be able to kind of dissect from what you can see to even finding out things that you can't normally see. And for example, we have people come in here with hip pain, back pain, and next thing you know, we're doing a session on the foot. And it's like, whoa, why are you doing that? Well, because we can trace the force vector from the foot to the hip, because the foot is positioned this way, it changes how everything is moving above. And once we're able to address this, well, that back really starts to just turn around very, very quickly.
Yes.
So quality is huge. And it sounds like you're a bit of a nerd about the body as well.
I love the body, and personally I can't get out of my workout rooms because I love to be with my clients, and I love to see those little tweaks that if I notice, then I'll pass along to other trainers. But sometimes it's just like posture things and how to maximize your exercise, whether you're just like trying to do a bicep or you're really like tucking everything to do it well. Those things are hard to find. It's really hard to find a trainer that will walk you through all the steps to get it done right. And it means no injury, it means, time efficiency and quality, like you said.
Compliance.
Yeah.
People can't get results if they don't come back.
Yeah.
People can't get results if they don't, do something at least 2, 3, 4 times a week.
Yeah.
So you're hitting all those right parts.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta ask this. One business owner to another business owner, what's the hardest part about owning your business?
Well, right now you catch me in a moment when there is multiple locations, and definitely we don't want to grow too fast. We want to make sure to maintain the quality. So definitely the spreading that same culture and beliefs that we have throughout the whole team, especially when it starts getting 20 people and higher, it's complicated, but that is the goal, and that's where we fight every day to keep up with our vision and maintain it at the standard that we are trying to build it at.
That's the same for us. We have one location. We're looking for one last physical therapist at this moment, and after that, we're really going to be looking at location number 2, and to be able to build that with the same intention that we have here, and to make sure that, hey, any location that you go to, any person that you interact with, you're going to get a very similar experience with each person. Of course, each person is going to have their own little spice that they will add into it, but that's humans, right?
Yes.
You want to have that little extra spice.
Absolutely.
But to make sure that the core thing is being delivered the way that it's supposed to be delivered from the get-go.
Correct.
All right. Well, it's fantastic having you. Now, if people want to find out more about Figurella, where can they find you? Or
So
where can
we
they find
have social medias where there's a lot of videos and more understanding about what we do. It's Figurella, and then Newton, Brookline, Lexington, and Wellesley. But also you can visit Figurella USA, is Figure, FIGURELLA USA.com, and you can sign up for a free session online.
Excellent. Well, it's very nice having you.
Thank you so much for having me.